Hello, my name is William James. I'm the host of The Bald Book Geek, and the trailer for The Rings of Power dropped a few days ago. It's been ratioed to hell. So, let's break it down. I'm not going to show the trailer because I've tried doing that, and copyright. I can't be bothered to deal with Amazon right now. Let's be real. What struck me, again, the timeline of this, it's meant to be Tolkien's Second Age, but they're not actually presenting the Second Age as it actually was. There are hobbits in Middle-earth at this point. There were no hobbits in Middle-earth in the Second Age. And they're condensing a story that happened over thousands of years into this very weird timeline where characters that are long dead are alive at the same time other people meet. So there are characters that would never have met, never existed at the same time in this show. So that's already going against Tolkien's law. They've rewritten Galadriel's backstory completely. And they've taken influence from a weird quote, but it still is not her backstory. It's a quote about her. It's not her backstory. So, yeah. I did notice with this, a lot of the people in the trailer, a lot of the characters you're seeing are the original characters they've made for this show. They're not actually showing anything really Tolkien-y. And there is an overall cheapness to this that I don't understand. There's promo shots and the armour that is printed onto the fabric. So when they're moving their arm, when she's on a horse, it bends. It's printed onto the fabric. Like, it has a really weird cheapness to it. And I'm like, where did this money go making this show? Then, other things. So I get the feeling they're going for a much more high fantasy world with high fantasy costumes and high fantasy look, where Peter Jackson kept the books and rooted the world in fantasy, but the characters' costumes into reality. And I think it just looks better. In fairness, I've seen better costuming from cosplay. There is some really weird cheapness going on here that I don't understand. And why do the elves have short hair? This is a thing. I just want to point out, elves don't have short hair. I have noticed they're not actually saying anything in this trailer. There's no actual hint of the plot, there's no actual hint of the story being told, and there's no hint of anything that's actually to do with the story, the character arcs, anything. It's just, ooh, scenery, a few clips we've seen before, a very pretty boat. I will give that credit, although when it goes to the close-up and you see the characters that are very obviously green screened in, it's not the best looking. Oh, hobbits that shouldn't be here, that aren't really hobbits. It's like, this is what happens when you buy hobbits on Wish, and the same, it kind of has that vibe to it. Overall, there's a cheapness to this, and I'm already saying they're not telling Tolkien's story. And it doesn't matter how much people go, well, you know, they're writing the book Tolkien never wrote. He never wrote another book like Lord of the Rings. They're filling in the gaps. They're not filling in the gaps. They're writing their original story. They've changed characters completely in this. But I mean, Galadriel is a massive step down from Cate Blanchett. I mean, Cate Blanchett is a phenomenal actress. And I really detest the actress they've got for this. I've never seen her in anything good. I've seen some stuff of her, but there's no... she's not got that strength that Cate Blanchett has. Overall, I think the characterization and all of this suffers. The overall cheapness of this look, the characters, the costumes, the CGI, they're still... It's in September this is coming out. They've still got time to fix the CGI, but I don't know how they're going to fix it. I don't know how they're going to do this, because CGI needs to be done well and to make it look convincing, and I think this is going to be an over-reliance on it. There's a scene in this trailer where you oversee a city with these two beautiful trees, but it's very shiny and very artificial looking. I could have made this look amazing myself. I know cosplayers and fan artists who do beautiful things with CGI, with costumes, with characters, and create these things that look 1,000 times better than this. Also, what's with the Greco-Roman thing? Why does everyone look like they've walked off the set of Merlin, the BBC Merlin? That's something else that kind of struck me with this trailer. It looks The costumes have a very un-Tolkien look. They don't really match many of the descriptives that Tolkien put into his works, but they look so cheap, and that's what I don't understand. And that's the whole thing with this. There is a cheapness to it. There's all this money. It is the most expensive television series ever made. Where is this money going? And why? They've probably already spent X amount of money on the horrible promotion they've done for this. But I've said this before and I'll say it again. It doesn't matter if this thing is amazing. It doesn't matter if it's going to be this mind-blowing series. It's not Tolkien's work they're telling. They're not telling Tolkien's story. They're not telling his characters. They've just used the names and the basic premise. And that's disappointing. There's no respect for Tolkien within this piece. The creators have ultimately said it. And I've said this before as well. Tolkien stands for everything people hate right now. And trying to inject diversity and representation into a work that is very much Anglo-Saxon Britain isn't how you do it. This is going to be a very expensive failure, and there's 5 years of this coming based on a handful of pages at the back of the book. I just have a feeling this is going to be an expensive flop. And don't forget, like always, the toxicist fans are the ones to blame. That's what's going to happen. And then the mainstream media are going to celebrate it. And then blame everyone else when it falls. Overall, trailer looks cheap and nasty. And I don't know how to explain that. Anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Tell me what you think in the comments below. And hope you enjoy this really horrible hot weather.